So this week in our work on the novel, we are going to look at plot development, and we're going to do, if this just connects in with your writing as well, okay? Because with plot development, we are looking at how an author builds up a story. And we've talked about needing characters, we've talked about needing a setting, but without a problem and a solution, then we have no plot development, we have no story. So you're going to work this week in your writing about coming up with a problem and then a solution. And because it's a short story, okay, then we can only have, in a short story, really, you can only have one problem or maybe two problems. But if you have too many, then you can't come up with solutions that are believable or have enough information in them to keep your reader's attention. But when you're coming to a story like this, then you'll find that the author builds in a problem, and then in the solution there'll be another problem, or maybe there's two or three problems running at the same time, or maybe she solves one problem but the bigger problem is still lying underneath. And we've done a lot of talking in class how a lot of what we're looking at here really comes down, the big problem that we've got here is just how lonely Flora is. Okay, but then see this little creature here? Okay, so this little creature here causes some other problems that work together to bring small solutions that ultimately are going to lead to a big solution. Or are they? Because I'm not telling you, because you aren't finished. So what we're going to do this week in your reading, okay, and I'm trying to keep the amount of writing really down this week so that you can focus on your writing your story, okay? But as you read, I want you to look for a problem. So let's imagine that it was just at the start of the story. So fairly early on in the story, the problem became, so mum, oh, you see that Scottish spelling of mum? Mum hates, I think that's okay to use such a strong word. Okay, mum hates Ulysses. Okay, so who is that a problem for? It's a problem for Flora because she really quickly, Ulysses is her friend. Yeah, and she's lonely. So this is definitely a problem for Flora. And guess who else it's a problem for? It is a problem for Ulysses. Because he wants to be safe and... Okay, so what's the solution? The solution is Dad to get rid of Ulysses. Okay, so who's that a solution for? That's a solution for mum. Okay, because Ulysses is out her house, so no Ulysses. Whoops. But do you see how that's kicking off an additional problem? Okay, and who's that additional problem going to be for? Clearly for Flora, clearly for Ulysses, and clearly for Dad. And this is how such a good way to track. If we can track problems, what they are, who they're for, it allows us to look at character development, okay? And then if we track the solution, does the solution bring a complete resolution, or does it kick in more problems? And the more problems allow for the character development to continue. Okay, so for this week, you're just simply, there's a teacher thing to say. In your reading this week, I want you to identify a problem. What is it? Who's it a problem for? Okay, there might be more than one person. All right, and then the solution. What's the solution? Who's the solution for? And if you want here to tell me that there's a further problem, you can make a little bit of notes, but I want you to look, what's the problem, what's the solution, and we'll work together on these in class, okay? And just again, to show you, this dog is being incredibly well behaved right now. All right, if you start to work on this on Monday and you have any issues, you can private comment me. I may or may not be able to answer them on Monday with it being Labour Day, but definitely if you private comment me on Tuesday, then I'll be able to help you if you've got any questions with this. All right, have fun with your reading.